Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dumaguete IELTS.com, another episode of IELTS Task 1 Writing Lessons. We are reviewing sample essays, and this is the 5th lesson in our series of 6. And today we are going to be looking at pie charts as indicated here. But the only difference is we will be looking at 2 pie charts together, which is more common these days than having a single one. So let's look. We've got our 2 pie charts. Immediately we can see it's going to be dynamic as well, 2004, 2009. So time is mentioned, but because they're pie charts, we're also going to compare segments. So it's going to be a mixture of both. So we have our categories here, and we have our percentages in both the charts. So we've got to know what we're talking about. So let's see. The charts show the main methods of transportation for people traveling to one university for work or study in 2004 and 2009. So let us paraphrase. The 2 pie charts compare the percentages of travellers using 5 methods to commute to one university for work and study in 2004 and 2009. We could also say between 2004 and 2009. Work and study, we don't really need to change it too much because the words that we change them for just could become slightly obscure. Employment or whatever, study. Can't think of a word off the top of my head. So we can leave those alone. We've paraphrased it enough with compares, percentages, 5 methods. That's enough. So in general, over the period, buses overtook cars to be the main preference for transport. Let's see. So buses, cars, buses, cars. Yes, they did overtake cars over the period. It can also be seen that while car use decreased, the popularity of other methods increased. Yes. Increase, very small. Increase, very small. Increase, large. Increase, small. So everything did increase. So there's our overview. So buses and cars swapped places and other methods increased. That tells me everything. In 2004, so we begin by looking at the first chart, just over half of the people, 51%, traveling to the university used cars, placing them as the main form of transport, followed by buses with 33%. So here are the figures. 51, just over half, 33. Can't dispute them. However, the figures for cars decreased nearly twofold. Twofold means more than half, to only 28% in 2009. Correct. So we're talking about cars here in 2004 and 2009. But I'll mention this later. Witnessing a reverse trend, by 2009, the percentage of bus-based travellers rose by 13%, 33% to 46%. This could be attributed to the installation of a new bus stop in 2006 and a car park modification at the university in 2008. Now, this is speculation, but the notes are there for a reason. So these 2 things were added in these years, so that could possibly contribute to it. The person is only speculating, which it's allowed in this situation because he's saying the possible reason for these figures could be this. He's not saying this is the reason for the increase. You can't say that because you don't know. But in this case, you can speculate, which is okay. So, paragraph 1, cars are the most, buses over 2, and we've also got a possible reason for that. So, paragraph 2, an upward pattern was observed in the proportion of pedestrians, train passengers, and bike riders. So, 1, 2, 3. Yellow, blue, orange. Marginally more people chose the train. So the train is, yes, marginally more. 1% is marginally. So marginally more people chose the train or went on foot in 2009. 4%, 6%, 2%. So both of those are marginal increases, accounting for percentages of less than 6% of the overall total. So that's 6%. These are both 6% or below between 2004 and 2009. However, a more substantial rise from 9% to 16% was seen in bicycle use. We have 189 words there, which is kind of on the limit, but it's okay. And paragraph 2, we're looking at the statistics of the 3 other forms of transport. This is buses and cars, other forms of transport. Okay. Oh, let's move our little video. So, never mind. Okay, for most pie charts these days, let me move my video because for most pie charts these days, there are usually 2 or more charts together. There only used to be 1 mainly, but this has changed. So be prepared for 2 and sometimes 3 pie charts together. That's a little more tricky, but it's not unusual to get even 3 pie charts. Okay, the language used in this type of chart is a mixture of dynamic, time, and static comparison. You can talk about how things increased or decreased, but also compare information between groups and charts. So here we have all 3 examples, dynamic, static, and data figures. Ensure that you know the difference in how to use both. Points to check against the essay. Vocabulary, again, not too complex, but used accurately. Doesn't use sequence language, so I haven't changed. I should have changed that. Uses comparative and dynamic language well. Describes the charts accurately, he or she does. Mixes simple and complex sentence, which is in all of these, because that's what one of your objectives is, to mix simple and complex sentences together. That's what the examiner wants to see. Sentence structure, comparison and dynamic language used. Yes, appropriate for the task. Very appropriate. Data is grouped into 2004 to 2009 cars and buses, and then also into 2004, 2009 other forms of transport. So within here, you're comparing 2004 to 2009 for these 3 forms, 2004 to 2009 for these 3 forms, because they're the 2 biggest. So they've been separated, paragraphed effectively. The overview, describes the charts accurately. Simple. Remember, again, simple, couple of sentences without data, just saying what you can see. Punctuation is good in both complex sentences, clauses, etc. And it describes order, sequence, which is, actually that should say changes, not order, sequence, and compares information accurately with appropriate language. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. So again, please subscribe to the channel, like it, dislike it, comment, important, please comment. Click the notification button to get more video information when a video is published. You'll be the first to know. Our website is dumaguete.com, and again, we also have self-study online courses for 10-hour, 20-hour IELTS and grammar awareness for IELTS. You can also book classes with myself by contacting us directly via our homepage. All the information that is there, email, phone numbers, Skype numbers, everything. So if you want to contact me, please feel free to do so, and I will give you tuition in IELTS or any other aspect of English. So that's it for this lesson, and I will see you in the next video in the series of sample essays.